Fish Talk. Jonathan Cameron is joining us this morning here on the Road Show, and this is the one thing that I couldn't catch last night was a striped bass, because those bluefish, man, they're aggressive, and the stripers are so lazy. They just hang out at the bottom and don't want to fight.
Yes.
You know?
It's bluefish season right now. It's definitely bluefish season, but it's also beautiful Narragansett Bay striped bass season, and that's what we'll be preparing today, Patrick. We have Narragansett Bay striped bass, which has already been filleted and skinned, and we're going to be serving it today with a Castle Hill garden vegetable succotash. Everything you see here came from our garden at Castle Hill, was harvested yesterday morning. So we have some zucchini, summer squash, red and white onions, green beans, beautiful Swiss chard. We have some yellow tomatoes, our garlic, which we just pulled out this week. It's drying. We're going to finish the dish with a lemon-chive emulsion.
Oh, I couldn't catch this fish last night, but you know what? I can look forward to eating it in a couple of minutes here on the show.
Catching the bluefish, though, is fun.
It is fun. It's quite a fight. You can find the recipe for this dish online at foxprovidence.com.
Jonathan Canberra just solved a mystery for me. I had something growing in my garden, and I didn't know what it was. But you actually were showing me some of these beautiful things that are growing in your garden, and right up there at Castle Hill.
Yes, yes. Today we're preparing the succotash. That's what we're going to do in just a minute or so. But everything that you see here in front of us was harvested yesterday by myself and my crew at Castle Hill. We have beautiful gardens there this year. We could actually start with the blended, the olive oil, please.
Okay, sure. Okay. And you know what's interesting? This is about 2 tablespoons of olive oil?
Yes, it is.
You know what's interesting is succotash to me was only something that a cartoon character used to say. What is a succotash, though?
Succotash traditionally actually has lima beans or fava beans in it, but we're just calling it a summer vegetable succotash. Really, it's a variety of vegetables, whatever's in season. Highlighting today what you have in your hand, red and white onions. We can add that right to the pan.
Okay.
Okay. So that's about a cup and a half of onions. We can go in with our chopped garlic. It's about 2 tablespoons.
I love fresh chopped garlic. It's so good for you too.
At that point, we just spin it a little bit. Okay. Just what we want to do is we want to lightly caramelize the onions and the garlic, bring out some of those natural sugars and that sweetness.
And I'm guessing you want to see them get to a nice translucent color.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what. In just a moment, we'll continue making. We'll throw the rest of this. What's this?
That's zucchini summer squash.
Great, and we'll throw in the rest of these ingredients: some beans, some tomatoes, and some Swiss chard. Right?
Yes.
In just a moment, supper and succotash. That's what we're making back here. Although no suffering this morning. I just had a bite of the succotash that Chef John has already made, and it was delicious. So I'm interested in seeing how we make this.
Excellent. Well, we're going to actually finish up our succotash. So if you could go right ahead and add the squash.
I tell you what, before I do that, I'm going to adjust my microphone so that I'm not making a funny noise. Okay, so what is this? What kinds of squash is this?
That's just a blend of summer squash, zucchini, and also a sunburst squash.
Oh, that's
what
really
it looks
pretty.
like right here. So it's pretty. The flavor is exactly what summer squash would be. Okay, we could spin it right there with our wooden spoon.
Okay.
We're going to also add in, now at this point, we're going to add in some of our garden green beans that have just been just cut in half-inch pieces.
And all of this very fresh from the garden. I just want to mention olive oil, some garlic, some red onions, right?
Yes.
And that was what was sauteing before we added the squash and the zucchini here.
Absolutely.
What else is going in?
So now we're going to add our Swiss chard, okay, that has just been chopped into small pieces, okay? And at the same time, we're going to season our fish. Patrick, if you'd like to season the fish, please.
I'm so angry still after last night.
Why?
So, we went out, we had a great time, Lee and Jason and I. We had a great, we're pulling those big monster bluefish out. But then I see this video of Chef John here just ho-hum in the channel there in Mount Hope Bay, ripping. How big were those bass that day?
The 3 biggest fish we caught early that morning were all 25 pounds apiece.
Whoa.
And then later on, closer to 10 o'clock, we were averaging, I'd say, 15 to 20 pounds.
What's funny, though, is at the beginning of this story, the fish were only this big, and they were about 5 pounds. So, Chef John's...
Did you see them lined up in the boat, though? I mean,
no,
those were monster
big.
fish.
They really
so we
were
were just talking about how now I have to convince my buddy Lee to take me out to Block Island.
And your wife to let you go.
Oh, she's cool with it. As long as I bring home food, I think she'll be fine with it,
Good
right?
point.
And then he said, let's go to Block Island, or he said, take you and your buddy go there because they're cows. He calls them cowfish out there. The bass are so big, right? On 30-pound average, you said?
At Block Island, if you're in the right spot at the right time, they're averaging 30 pounds in a
Wow,
boat.
that's incredible.
Really big.
You just threw in a little bit of kosher salt or sea salt?
A little bit of kosher salt, just a little bit of cracked white pepper.
And what
okay?
about this? Was this a tomato that you just
That's a
threw in?
little bit of yellow tomato, which we have here. This came from our garden at Castle Hill yesterday.
Now, I would have thought that that just wasn't ripe yet, but it's really the type of tomato.
Yeah, it's just a variety of tomato. Tastes like a tomato. There's many varieties out there.
Probably
Your
higher
reds,
in
your
citrus,
yellows.
though, right? Or
Acidity,
vitamin
maybe?
C.
Yeah.
That's what I hear about
Works
green
for me,
tomatoes.
yeah,
So. I just make this up as we go along, just like you do in the kitchen.
So our succotash is coming along great. We have our fish right here, our striped bass, which we season with kosher salt and cracked white pepper. Okay.
Salt, cracked white pepper, okay.
We just want to go about 2 minutes on a side here, just to caramelize that flesh a little bit. Okay. And we flip it over.
Look how beautiful
And
that
what
looks.
we're going to do is we're going to finish this in a 350-degree oven with a little bit of butter on top, just to moisten up that fish. Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the fan up here.
That smells
So
good.
right?
And then we have a
Mine, right? That's what you're talking about?
No, not
Oh, okay.
we have a
wow.
beautiful piece of fish ready to go. We're going to put our plate together.
Okay.
Okay.
How long was that in the oven for after you after you fried it? Or I'm sorry, what do you caramelize
Just
it?
pan roasting it.
Then oven for how long?
4 to 5 minutes, 350 degrees,
Not
just
long.
until the fish is nice and firm to the touch, okay? It's very fresh, so you don't need to overcook it,
Right.
okay? To finish our plate, we have a lemon-chive emulsion, or vinaigrette. Very simple. It's just blended oil, little Dijon mustard, lemon juice, fresh chives, okay?
And I'm going to get the fork at the
And
ready.
we'll make a pretty little design there. Not too much. It's very strong, and it's got a strong acidity to it.
We
And
have a
then
lovely flair for plating.
we'll
Chef
take
John.
our succotash here with all our garden vegetables from Castle
Look at
Hills
that.
Gardens. Okay, really nice, summer, fresh, simple, beautiful
and
plate.
the piece de resistance.
And we have our fish here.
And we have to get right into it, so I'm going to let Patrick do that since
Nice.
you caught the fish yesterday.
Not this one,
Not
but
this particular one, but
And that
someday maybe.
bass is ready to go.
All
it
right.
looks heavenly. And I have to say, I already tried the succotash, and it is really, really good.
I know my buddy Lee's at home right now saying, next time, buddy, we'll catch one of these for you.
You'll also be able to try a sample of this at our Farm Fresh event at Castle Hill on August 3rd.
Awesome. We'll
Which-
have to do that. Chef John, thanks so much.